from Create, Believe, Achieve. Happy Monday morning on this cold summer's day in Melbourne. Today I wanted to talk to you about 3 tips that I have for falling in love with your life again. I call February the month of self-love, obviously because it's Valentine's Day and there's a lot of talk about love and relationships and finding a soulmate and all that kind of stuff. But I often think what gets forgotten is the love that we need to feel for ourselves in order for all of the things in our life to fall into place. So, and it's really interesting because the last kind of couple of days, the energy has been so intense, and lots of people have been mentioning to me about how they're feeling quite depressed or a lot of anxiety and uncertainty with the direction that the world is going in. And there's so much feelings of uncertainty and not being able to control anything, and that just sends out this worry energy. And when we're focusing on self-love and areas that we want to have in our lives, it's so much better to not send out that worry or that fear energy, but the energy of trusting that the universe is doing the best for us and everyone, even if we don't understand it in that moment. So I have 3 tips, and I've got a couple of bit of notes. So I'll be looking down at my computer a little bit while I'm talking to you, because I want to make sure that what I've channeled earlier in over the last kind of week or so, you get the messages that the angels have sent to you. Even though we could rechannel it now, it's just a nicer way for me to kind of make sure that I've covered everything that I want to cover. So I did a coaching course about 6 years ago, and one of the really interesting things that came out of that whole period of my life was that so many of these people that were wanting others to be happy in their lives were telling us to get over ourselves. And this really made me feel really uncomfortable, because I thought, why are we trying to get over ourselves? Why are we not trying to get into ourselves and accept ourselves for every part of who we really are? And I kind of talked a lot about that with different friends that I have, and we analysed it quite deeply, because it was such a strange way of thinking, we thought. And essentially, getting over yourself is just pushing away your feelings and not feeling what you need to feel. And I did this for quite a while, and ultimately I was sick for a long time with lots of different health issues, and the major relationship in my life broke down because I feel that I wasn't allowing myself to really feel how I actually felt. And so my first tip for self-love and for falling in love with whatever part of your life is feeling a bit lackluster at the moment, whether that's your business, your exercise regime, the way that you eat, your friends and your family, is to feel all of the shit and sit in the shit and allow yourself to feel not so great for a while. Because when you allow yourself to sit in that feeling of you actually allow yourself to really heal. And when I'm sitting in that kind of feeling of and I'm not, I've got no energy to do things and I'm feeling a bit low, I often ask that feeling, what are you here to teach me? What am I releasing, and what do I need to feel right now to enable me to release what needs to be released? And there is nothing wrong with feeling crappy or feeling overwhelmed and that things are not going your way. But the secret to releasing that is to feel it for a bit, and then to allow yourself, set a date or a time when you are going to move on from that feeling of feeling like you're not in control of things. I used to say to some clients that I worked with, think to yourself, if you wake up in the morning and you're not really feeling that great, that's okay. But by the time you have your first cup of coffee and you take that last sip, you'll feel a little bit better. And by the time you get to work and you pull up in the car, or you take the steps off the tram or the train, and as you're walking to work, you'll start to feel a little bit better. And so find yourself little moments in your day where you can allow yourself to still feel not that great, but that are kind of little deadlines for yourself, or little markers in your day that help you to release a little bit or close off a little bit more of that energy that's kind of potentially engulfing you. So the first tip is allow yourself to sit in the shit. You don't have to get over yourself or push those feelings away, because ultimately if you continue to push them away, they're going to continue to come back, and we don't want that. We want to be able to heal them when they come up. And the second tip for ultimate self-love in all areas of your life, business, family, friends, career, exercise regime, eating regime, whatever you're trying to create in this moment, is let other people help you. You don't have to do it alone. There are people out there that care deeply about you, and you are not alone, whether it is spirit or some family and friends or a professional. You are allowed to go and ask for help, and you don't have to be a superwoman all the time. One of the greatest lessons I learned was that I continued to push through all of this stuff myself and never allowed my friends to help me, because I thought that it would bore them, or that I didn't want to be a burden. And one of my closest girlfriends, who I've known for about 20 years, this happened a couple of years ago. I remember I was sitting on the couch in my old share house, and she said, "Oh, let's have dinner next week." And I said, "Oh, I can't because I'm having knee surgery on Monday." And there was a bit of silence on the phone. And she said, "How long have you had knee pain?" And I was like, "Oh, 6 to 12 months. And she kind of was a bit silent, and I was like, "Are you all right?" And she's like, "Yeah, but Elle, I'm your friend, and in hindsight, I can't help you, and you don't need to do it all alone. You not telling me how you feel, or if you're going through tough things in your life, makes me feel like a shitty friend." But really, she hadn't been a shitty friend at all. I had not allowed her and opened up to her and allowed her to help me. And this is what I'm saying to you, is you don't need to carry all of that stuff on your own. If you are sitting in the depressed feeling or feeling alone and not feeling loved, the next step is, if you feel like you can't get out of it, ask for help. And it's so important for us to be able to open up and talk about how we really feel, because the moment that we shut down and stop talking is when potentially our ego takes control, and then all this extra stuff on top of how we already feel is created, and it might not even really be there. So ask people for help. And the third tip I have for you when creating more self-love, and especially something that you can really focus on for the month of February, is make a detailed plan on what you want to achieve in your life, whatever it may be, and do it. Actually do it. And this has been a huge lesson for me over my life. And it's funny because I went to the Paralympics, and I used to swim every couple of days and train really, really hard. And when I retired, it was like I lost the skill to be able to actually take out the actions that I had planned for myself. And it was this fear-based feeling of, well, I don't want to do it, because what if I do it and then something good happens? Do I deserve things to be good? Am I worthy of having all of my dreams come true? Well, of course you are. You're a divine being of the world, and you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for love. So, take action on your dreams and write those goals down and make them really, really small if you need to, so that the steps are easier for you to take. So there are 3 tips for feeling more self-love and love in your business and your family and friends, and in whatever area of your life that you're wanting to achieve at the moment is, if it feels crappy, it's okay. You're allowed to feel crappy for a while, but just don't unpack there. And set yourself a deadline or a time or a milestone to say, okay, I've felt this way and I've allowed myself to heal, and now I'm moving on. And the second tip is ask for help. You don't have to do any of this alone. There are people out there that love you and that care about you deeply, and those friends out there that want to help you, but you are not allowing them. Ask for help. And the third Maybe your friends can help and your family can help with this. Make a detailed plan. Set the actions down. Break it down into tiny little steps, easy steps, and then do them. Take action towards a life that you really want and to feel the love that you desperately deserve to feel for yourself. I'm relaunching the I Am Project, my 7-week online program, on the 14th of February, which is 7 weeks of questions and different tips and meditations and exercises that you can do to create more love and positive energy in your life. I call it the I Am Project because I believe that the most important words that come out of your mouth are after I am. So there's the end of the course is really cool. I really love this part, is 100 days of I am affirmations that we can post on Instagram or Facebook together so we can show each other how we're living this new positive I am, positive affirmation lifestyle. So if you want more information, have a look on my website, lsteele.com, send me an email, l@createbelieveachieve.com.au, or a Facebook message on the Facebook page. I love spending time with you online, and I hope that it can grow to be more and more often. Happy month of self-love. I'm sending you all of my love, healing, and angel blessings, and have a wonderful week.